back to my channel, Tales of a Texas Mommy. Today I'm going to be doing my 1 week postpartum update. So if you want to hear how that week went, then just keep on watching. If you are new to my channel, welcome. My name is Sabre Casey. I have 2 little ones, and that I think is the first time I've said that out loud. It's kind of odd. My son Liam, he is 2 years old, and then we just had little Lucille, had her last week, so she is 1 week old. I do primarily mommy content on this channel, as well as some lifestyle and money saving tips and things like that. So if you like that kind of content, then make sure you hit that red subscribe button below. So today I am exactly 7 days postpartum, so 1 week exactly. I did have a scheduled C-section, and if you want to get caught up on just my whole pregnancy journey with baby number 2, as well as why I had to have a C-section and all that kind of stuff, I will link that playlist below. I will be doing a separate video that talks just about my birth story at the hospital and stuff, as well as our hospital stay. And I will also do another video that is just on baby Lucy on her first week. So I will link those in the description box. Make sure to check those out after you watch this video. I'm going to try to keep as much as I can separated from our hospital stay versus once we got home postpartum wise, but there's probably going to be some overlap. And my setup today is probably typical of what somebody who just had a baby a week ago is. I'm washing the sheets right now. I don't have my pretty pillows behind me, but it was either this or no video at all, so I figured I'd go for doing a video. I'm sure that y'all don't mind. I've also got baby girl is right next to me in her DockATot. She is asleep right now, and I will show her to you at the end of this video. I did have a C-section with my son 2 years ago, and his was an emergency C-section. And let me tell you, that versus a scheduled C-section is night and day. There are so many differences, and I'll do a video on what the differences were for me. But just talking recovery-wise, it was so much easier. I didn't feel as sore. I was able to get up and walk around a lot quicker. I've been able to walk around a little bit more. A lot of that with Liam's birth was probably because I was in labor for 3 days before I had the C-section, so I was exhausted. So I'm sure that probably did not help my recovery from that C-section. I was also under general anesthesia with my son, which is whenever they put you completely under. So there's a lot of factors I'm sure that contribute to it, but this recovery has so far been just night and day difference better. So for those of you who have followed my journey, we have been talking about the possibility that I may have had an accreta with my placenta. That's where it attaches to your uterus, and the only way to get it out is to take out the entire uterus, which obviously is a hysterectomy. So we've been worried about that the entire time, and thank goodness it was all fine. They were able to get the placenta out very easily, and it could not have gone better. So I just had a plain old boring C-section, which I never thought I would be praying for a regular C-section, because obviously I didn't want another C-section. We really wanted to do a natural VBAC, but under all the circumstances, I could not be happier with the way that things turned out. We're so lucky. We were discharged from the hospital on the second day, or after 48 hours. So the surgery was Tuesday it ended up being around 3 p.m. in the afternoon. And then we were discharged from the hospital right around 2:30, 3 p.m. on Thursday. So Lucille was about 48 hours old, and that's awesome. We were thinking that we might have to stay an extra day just because my surgery was so late in the day, but we were ready to go home. So we got to go home after 2 days, which was awesome. They did give me a belly binder in the hospital, which it's basically just a big old white piece of fabric, and you just fold it over and it velcros, and it just holds everything in. And I did not have that with my son's birth after that C-section, and it really helped. When you have a C-section, I mean, you just feel like everything's just going to spill out. And I mean, that sounds so dramatic, but that's what it feels like. So it really helps you to just feel secure, especially when you're standing up and when you're walking and everything like that. I wore it quite a bit in the hospital, but after we got home, I tried it, and well, first I had to wash it when I got home because I got blood on it. But after I tried it again, I don't like it, and I don't know if I'm not allergic to the fabric, but when I wear it, it makes my skin on my belly itch like worse than it does whenever you're pregnant. She got hungry. But yeah, it was almost like a rash, like how a rash would feel. My skin would itch really bad, and then it would get super red and almost hot to the touch. So I haven't really been wearing it, and I don't really think I need it. I have been just kind of pressing on that area whenever I stand up and down, and that seems to help because, yeah, I just didn't like it. So I haven't been wearing that. After I had Lucy, I was expecting really bad after pains. The contractions that you get with every feeding, that's one of the benefits of breastfeeding, is that it releases the hormones that kind of help your uterus to contract back to its original size. And anyway, I've always heard that with subsequent babies it gets worse and worse, so I was really expecting it to be bad. And it really wasn't. I mean, yes, they're uncomfortable and yes, they hurt, but it wasn't as bad as I had it pictured in my head. And I only had those at the hospital. So once we left the hospital, I really haven't had them. So again, that's been another awesome thing as far as recovery goes this time around. On Friday is whenever I really noticed that my milk came in. I never had the engorgement that you hear a lot of women get whenever their milk comes in. I didn't have that with Liam. I didn't have it this time. Obviously, I could kind of tell because my boobs were kind of tender and they were kind of hard to the touch. But again, they just really didn't hurt, but I could just kind of tell that it was in. And that was on Friday, so that was 3 days postpartum. The first couple of days after we got back from the hospital, which would be like day 3, day 4 postpartum, I got the shakes really bad, and that's probably self-inflicted because I was not keeping on top of my pain meds, which is something I swore I would do this time, but I just wasn't. They say to take your pain meds every 4 hours, and it would be longer than that. So I think that was just from being in so much pain. I would get the shakes really bad, and Ben would have to cover me up. And anyway, once I would take my pain meds and they would kick in, then they would kind of go away. So speaking of pain meds, I am on hydrocodone and a really high dose of Motrin. I believe it's 600 milligrams, and both are safe for breastfeeding. I'm feeling pretty good overall. We are actually getting not a lot of sleep, but definitely more than with Liam. Obviously, I'm going to be comparing everything to postpartum with my son because that's the comparison that I have. But we actually have to wake her up to feed her. And I'm going to try not to get too much into this because I realize this is more for her update. But we have to set an alarm and wake her up to feed her about every 3 hours or so because she's such a good sleeper. She's a good feeder. She doesn't cry. I mean, she's been just awesome. So we're getting a good 2 to 3 hours sleep at a time. And then she eats so fast. I mean, we're up for maybe 20-30 minutes by the time we change her diaper, wake her up, get her fed, and get her put back down. So we're not up in between those stretches for long amounts of time. And then also we're usually able to at least nap once during the day because Liam still naps. So again, we're really lucky on that front. So we are able to get some rest so I don't feel like a zombie too bad. I have been ridiculously thirsty. Breastfeeding makes me really thirsty. I'm sure it does with most mamas. I've been going through lots of water, just been drinking everything. I haven't had a whole lot of an appetite. Ben usually has to make me eat just because I'm just not hungry. I'm just not thinking about it. Honestly, the thirst is what I think about more than anything else. So we'll see how that goes, but I haven't really had too much of an appetite. As far as bleeding goes, you do bleed after a C-section. I don't know if that's something that everybody knows or not, but you still do bleed down there after a C-section, and I have not had a whole lot of bleeding this time. I had some in the hospital, but again, it really wasn't that bad. And even here at home, I really haven't had a lot. I mean, there's some there, but it's really not bad at all. Nursing has been going extremely well. She latched on from the beginning, and she's been doing really well. I think we had some latch issues the first couple days, which is normal. I was really sore at the hospital. Once we got home, I started using nipple shields, which have been a lifesaver. There's lots of opinions on nipple shields. I used them for a while with Liam, and I would switch back and forth, and I never had any issues as far as him taking the boob versus that, and I never had issues. Because, I mean, what's the alternative? I mean, you're so tender and you hurt so bad. I mean, I couldn't stand it. So the nipple shields help, for me, they help a lot to kind of get over the bruising and the tenderness and everything like that. So anyway, her latch has really improved a lot, and that's helped because a couple days in, I was having a lot of cracking and bleeding on one side. My left side has always been my slacker boob, so I'm always prepared for that. But yeah, that one was just, it was raw and just, ugh, it hurts so bad. Today's actually the first day that I have not used shields all day. She's been nursing awesome on both sides. It doesn't hurt me at all, so hopefully we're in the clear and she's kind of figured it out, because I've done it before, so it's a little bit easier this time around, but she doesn't know what she's doing, so she's got to learn also, and I have to help her to learn what to do. So it's been going really good, and it's just been getting better, so hopefully we'll be good from here on out. So I'm not going to get too much into it because this is a story. I will talk about it in my birth story, so make sure to go watch that, but my arms are so sore. I will show you. So the bruises are not bad because it's been a week, so they're really not that bad, but you can see this is them poking me. That's how many times they poked me. And then up here, and again, this is day 7, so they were way worse. You can see, can't turn my arm like that, but you can see that. You can see where they poked me here, and then this side right here. I had to get an IV for an arterial line because of all the complications that may have happened during my surgery. They had to do this as a precaution. Again, I'm not going to get into it, but they stuck me so many times I lost count. They were sticking me for almost 2 hours. This was in the operating room. Basically, they stick the needles in you, and then they thread it up your arm, and I can't even talk about it. But my arms have been really sore. Like, it's hard to extend them. The muscles are sore. I mean, the needles were like down in my muscles. So my arms have been really sore to where like it hurts to lift stuff. Like they hurt a lot. Today, again, it's been 1 week. I went into my doctor's office and just saw one of the nurses. They took my bandage off of my scar and just, cleaned it up, looked at it, made sure it looked okay. And she said it looks perfect. She's like, it looks awesome. There was a couple of things that they would normally do for a C-section scar that she didn't need to do because it is healing so well. It's already starting to heal. This time around, I had the dissolvable stitches with Liam. I had staples, so I had to have those removed. Again, night and day difference. She had to peel, all the dressing off of it, and then she did something on it that got all the sticky off of it from the bandage, and then she cleaned it with like iodine, and then she put something else on it. But yeah, that went really well. I'm really pleased. I'm so grateful for the way that this recovery has been, and just how obviously I feel like crap because I did have major abdominal surgery, but I feel as good as you could, I guess, after having major surgery. But yeah, I'm so grateful for just everything went so well and everything's been going so well. So yeah, I did that today, and then I will go back in a week to see my doctor, the one who actually did the surgery for that check, and then I'll go in again at 6 weeks. So I realized when I was weighing myself, I really didn't talk about my weight like at all in my pregnancy updates. That's mostly because I really didn't weigh myself whenever I was pregnant. I feel like it's such a mind thing, and you're like, oh my gosh, I gained 2 pounds this week, or oh, I didn't get anything, and it stresses me out. So I just, even at the doctor's office, when they weigh, I'm just, like, I really don't look, I don't pay attention to it because I don't. But with this pregnancy, I gained a total of 56.2 pounds for the whole pregnancy. And so far, since I weighed myself the morning of the surgery, so it's a very accurate weight. And my first weigh-in, I was 3 weeks pregnant. So it's a pretty accurate number. But in the past week, I have lost 12.4 pounds so far. Again, I'm not, I don't worry about it, especially at this point. And for the pregnancy, I'm worried about me being healthy, which I am, and my baby being healthy, which she is. So I'll worry about it in the future, but not now. But I will try to remember to do, when I do these postpartum updates, I will try to remember to give y'all an update of how much I have lost. Hormone-wise, I've been feeling pretty good. I haven't felt any like extreme ups or downs as far as that goes. So I've been feeling pretty level, especially compared to the raging bleep that I felt like I was while I was pregnant. So I've been feeling a lot more leveled out, which could be in part to I do the placenta encapsulation with my pregnancies, and I will talk about that in another video. But I do that, which it's supposed to help with your hormones and stuff. So I've been doing that, so that might be or play a part in the way that I've been feeling. So that's all that I have for this postpartum update. I've been really trying to keep track of everything, but I'm sure I forgot something. Let me know in the comments below how you were doing at 1 week postpartum. Regardless if it was a C-section, if it was a vaginal birth, whatever. Let me know how you were feeling and kind of what symptoms that you were dealing with at 1 week postpartum. Okay. Here is Miss Lucille. She is asleep. Can you say hi? You say hi? If you like this video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel below. I will see y'all in the next one. Bye.